This is Evolution. My name is Brandon Fogal. I never know what type of energy to bring in. Should I jump in just guns blazing, or should I back off a little bit? Today we're going to be talking about Donald Trump, and he has announced the Patriot Games. The Patriot Games. I volunteer as tribute. But I don't think they're going to let a 40-year-old guy go out there and, just run the show. Run the show, baby. Let's run the show. A lot of things that Donald Trump has been doing lately have really been catching me off guard. I don't know about you. I don't know if I'm just now being red-pilled to Donald Trump or what. I've loved Donald Trump for a long time. I liked him when he first came in and became president the first time. It's just of lately, it's just things have been kind of just weird. At least for me, maybe I'm seeing what everyone else out there has always seen. I still like the man. I still am thankful he is our president, but he's doing things lately that just seem off. And I know this one's not going to probably seem the craziest thing out there, but it's still a little weird. I'm going to switch screens so you can see. He is announcing the Patriot Games, which is similar to, it makes you think of the Hunger Games. And I just see, you can see that guy's comment in this video right there. He says, "Do not let him watch The Purge." Okay, but let's see what Donald Trump has to say about this new revelation of the Patriot Games, which is going to be happening next year.
In the fall, we will host the first ever Patriot Games, an unprecedented 4-day athletic event featuring the greatest high school athletes, one young man and one young woman from each state and territory. But I promise there will be no men playing in women's sports. You're not going to see that. You'll see everything but that. As I first announced in 2020, we will build the National Garden of American Heroes featuring statues of all-time greatest Americans, and we will build a triumphal arch as we celebrate 250 years of American freedom. We are the only major city. We are the only major capital. We are the only major place without a triumphal arch, a beautiful triumphal arch.
No one delivers it better than Donald Trump, I would have to say. We got a lot to talk about today, and we're gonna look at this as well. This is another thing that I feel like I've stepped into a parallel universe, and it doesn't seem real. Like the Mandela effect has happened recently or something. It does not feel real. It does not feel like even the first Trump term. It seems like things are just even more crazy than they were before. All right, these are plaques that have been added to, it looks like the White House. And it almost seems like this would have to be AI, but it's coming from CNN, so I do not think it's AI, but let's just hear it out.
New plaques have just been added to the so-called Presidential Walk of Fame. They almost read, some of them, like Truth Social posts, including the ones under President Obama's that says he was one of the most divisive political figures in American history. Under President Biden's, it describes him as Sleepy Joe Biden and also says that he was the worst U.S. president in history. There are some that are nicer, including under Ronald Reagan's, for example, where President Trump says at the end that he was a fan of Trump's long before he ran for president. The White House press secretary, Caroline Leavitt, says the president actually hand-wrote some of these plaques himself.
What is happening? Is this AI? I know it's not AI because it's coming from CNN and a lot of news outlets are reporting this. Like, can any president just do whatever they want when they're in term, and they can just make the White House and this walk of presidential people or whatever, like, say anything they want? What? That doesn't even seem right. Is this AI? I don't know what is AI and what isn't anymore. Nothing makes sense. Like, how can that be real? I might be the one that is not in on it. Is this AI or is this real? It just seems like everything is getting more and more insane. And I don't like, next year there's going to be the whole UFC fight that's going to be taking place on the White House lawn, and then we're going to have the Patriot Games, which is going to morph into the Hunger Games eventually, or at least this is going to be the catalyst that brings it all about. I just think of Hollywood. They create things and they put things out there, and it always comes to fruition. It comes to be. It's like telling us what's going to be the future, what's going to happen in the future, and it always happens that way. And something that has made me think recently is we always see in the future like what we're going to look like and what we're going to the technology we're going to have. But we always see in the future that people are fat. People are still like extremely overweight. Like, why can't we develop something that makes us not fat? Like in the future, like we're creating all this technology. Why can't we make something that we take something that we don't have to go to the gym? We don't have to go work out. We don't have to do these things. Why can't that be our future? Why can't like Hollywood create something that gives us hope there? That we're going to be ripped people in the future, that everything but it's just, I just go to the movie WALL-E or whatever that was. It's like they're just floating around and they're just huge. And just like the surrogates with Bruce Willis, that we're like the mind behind this prototype that is us out in the world that's walking around, but it's not really us. It's really this fat person that is in this little cubicle or whatever, and they're just controlling it. With all these things that are coming out, why can't we create something that is just going to instantaneously make us ripped? Everybody ripped and healthy. Why can't we create something like that? Why is it so black-pilled that our future is going to be us just getting more and more enormous? Why is it like this? Why is it like this? We're going to continue on because there's so many things that are just happening. So many things that are happening. Okay, I don't know if you caught this, but this seems a little bit awkward and weird as well, because we know, I don't know if you're in on it or if you're clued in, but Israel's behind everything. They are the ones running the world. The Jews are running the world. Israel, the Jews, different sides of the same coin. But people have mixed emotions about this. But this video with Mark Levin, and he has his arm around Donald Trump, and he's saying the first Jewish president. Hey, I don't know who anybody that's hearing this, where you stand on this, if that makes you mad or makes you happy. Honestly, I'm cool with Israel running the world. This is their story. We get to be a part of it. That's what, if we look at anything in Scripture, the whole story of Scripture is the Jewish lineage, and it comes down to us, and then Christ is born into the world, and then we all get to join in on this. But it's primarily their story. So I understand why Israel would be running the world. It's just like, I didn't think it was like that. I didn't know about this years ago. I didn't know that they were. I thought they were just something that nobody talked about. But I guess if you step into this rabbit hole, you're not going to be able to get out. And your mind is going to be warped in one way or the other, either to hate the Jews or to love the Jews or just be skeptical about them or conspiratorial about them, that they're running everything. Where do we have a say? Do we have a say in anything? Not really. But let's just check out this video with Mark Levin and just having his arm around Donald Trump.
And these people do like Israel.
Hold on. And he loves Israel too. 2 seconds. 6 years ago, I was up here and I said, this is our first Jewish president. This is our first Jewish president. This is our first Jewish president. Now he's the first Jewish president to serve two not consecutive presidents. We thank you for everything. We thank you for everything.
Whoa, okay, all right. You see the comments on that, and it's like, people are thinking, oh, they got something on Donald Trump. They got something on him for him to be willing to do this. And they got footage of him doing something terrible, somebody, to some person or whatever. And that's why he is so bought in with Israel. I think he genuinely loves Israel. His son-in-law, Jared Kushner, is Jewish. Now, I don't know if Donald Trump is secretly Jewish. No, I doubt that. I just think he genuinely loves Israel. His daughter, Ivanka, that's right. She's Jewish too, right? She became Jewish. That's why Israel, they have so much power in this world. And if you fight against them, you're really fighting against God in a lot of ways. They have their tentacles out in everything. That's why they're running the world, because they have a central place that they all congregate and they all have allegiance to, which is Israel, and to their heritage, but they're everywhere. They're in every country. That's the diaspora. That's God. That was God's judgment on them. They did wrong. They crucified the Messiah, which that's what Israel's not going to be too happy about me calling Jesus their Messiah, but it is. Jesus is their Messiah. They crucified him. I guess we all crucified him. But then that was the judgment that happened. They got scattered abroad everywhere. They do evil things and God punishes them. That you go to the book of, what is it, Deuteronomy or the Torah? That's the whole point of it. God made a specific covenant with them. You do evil, I'm going to punish you. And if you do good, I'm going to bless you. That was a specific covenant with only them. So we see that God blesses them throughout the world. They are, his people. They are the chosen ones. They are the chosen ones. Let's not be stupid about this. Goyim, let's not be dumb about this and get us ourselves into huge hot water by not recognizing these people and who they are. And just try to, I'm not going to say it, because that is what is floating out there about everything. It's anti-Semitism. Anti-Semitism is behind everything. And they're creating propaganda to try to squelch this. They don't want anything to rise up of people to get together and want to eliminate the Jews, because that behind eliminating the Jews is Satan. He wants to destroy this people. And I guess the Israel is always going over the top, and they want to get ahead of the game because they know what people are capable of, which, ask yourself in your heart of hearts, whether you love Israel or you hate Israel, if you are a person that disagrees with Israel, the whole state of Israel, what would you want the outcome to be? Because what would you want the outcome to be? Like, to them to remove their identity? What could we do? What just ship them to Israel? And they're always going to have that distinct characteristic, which is their heritage, that we cannot remove, and we should not remove. We should not try to wipe out. It's there. It's emblazoned on them. It's an indelible mark that they have forever. So let's be realist. Let's be realist. We can try to be idealist in certain things, but let's be realist in what the reality is. I know it's not the best feeling in the world to think, oh, well, they're chosen. They're the chosen ones. If you become a Christian, if you join, your allegiance to Jesus Christ, you become chosen. You're the chosen one, because ultimately he is the chosen one. Jesus is the chosen one, and he is the embodiment of Israel and the Jewish people, and it's when you trust in him that you become that. You become that. It's not like you become Israel. It's not like you become Jewish, because that was the whole infighting of the New Testament authors. They were always arguing about that. And that was what they had to debate about. Does everyone have to become Jewish to become a part of this God's plan? That was what the disagreement was. And now we've pushed Jewish people pretty much out of the church, and now we're just running with it, and doing our best, but we screw up a lot. All right, last thing we're going to look at with Tucker Carlson. He spoke. AmFest is going on right now. Ben Shapiro spoke yesterday after Erica Kirk, and then Tucker Carlson came on, and Tucker and Ben Shapiro, they got mad beef. They got extreme beef. They're not coming together, and they're not agreeing on certain things. They feel like they can't even talk to each other. I think Ben Shapiro more than Tucker. It's such a whole weird deal with Tucker Carlson. They felt that he is just a person that is promoting anti-Semitism, which he is not at all. He doesn't hate anyone. He's asking questions. And I think if we want to be honest with this, we should let him ask questions. We should try to answer his questions. And I think this whole thing about just being divided over everything, over stupid issues, is not making us any better as the American people, as to come together and make actually significant change and a good future for us. If we just bitch over the dumbest issues ever, nothing good is going to come of it. We're all going to be just drowning in our own pity and, our own mire.
America first. And don't think of everything in narrow partisan terms. That's a trap. Most people agree with that. Most Americans have more in common with each other than they disagree on. And almost everybody agrees on that. And almost everybody is willing to tolerate a good faith argument about how to get there. Except a few. And they're the ones running around calling everyone an anti-Semite. But everyone else is like, yeah, of course, that should be the debate. And they'll vote for you. They want that because they know they haven't had that. That's the fact. And what you're watching now, attacking millions of Americans because they're Muslims, it's disgusting. And I'm a Christian. I'm not a Muslim. I know there's a lot of effort to claim I'm a secret jihadi. I'm not. You should not attack people on those grounds. And you're seeing it from Republicans. What the hell are you doing? What you're doing is trying to divide the country. And I've lived through 50 years of this crap. All these fake race wars that they're always promoting. Oh, go hate each other while we loot the treasury. That's exactly what's going on. And most people are totally sick of that.
Okay, so what do we want to happen? What do we actually want to... I think about this a lot. what is it that unites us as American people, as American citizens? What is it that unites us? It seems like we're so divided over everything and we can't come together about anything. We need to have something uniting us. But it feels like if you just go out to anywhere in this world, you just feel like there's just animosity between everyone. And he says like people are attacking Muslims. I totally disagree with Muslims. You know, I totally disagree with anyone that's not a Christian, that hasn't embraced Christ. But it's like, I don't want to. I tolerate you. I'm gonna just accept your presence in my life. I will tolerate you. But we do have to figure out something. We have to, left, right, pull that stupid bullshit out of, throw that out of here. It's the dumbest thing in the world that we get so caught up in that. And Republican and Democrat, I bounced back and forth between, is that a good thing that we have this two-party system or not? The only thing that dissuaded me from thinking that it is a terrible thing is I heard, who is that? Stephen Crowder, when he mentioned that he came from Canada. I know he's not Canadian, but he grew up in Canada, and they have a system where everyone has like a different party and all that. And like one of the parties that has maybe 20% can win that, like the rule and governing power of that country, which that does make sense that maybe we should almost have the two-party system, at least narrow it a bit so we can all link arms. I just think it's so dumb that we're so tribal. We're so tribal about everything, and we can't have a common denominator that we're American citizens. I think that should be added to, if you want to be American citizen, you want to be in this country, there has to be linking arms. We have to link arms and at least say America first. America first. That, because I know we're not all going to become Christians, though I wish we would. I know we're not all going to agree on every issue, abortion and all the major issues, how to run the government. And I know there's a lot of bleed over between a lot of issues that I hate abortion. I disagree with abortion. I think it's terrible and awful. But also I'm going to be a person that I agree with a lot of the things on the left side. I agree that we should have basic general health care. Everyone should have access to health care. Everyone should have that. It shouldn't be something that it destroys someone and they're scared to go to the doctor because they're going to lose they feel like they're going to lose all their money. They feel like they're going to go bankrupt if they go to the doctor. That something is found out, but there's so many, if we we need major radical transformation to happen in our country. And this whole thing of, I'm against you, you're against me, and we're always going to be against each other. We got to hate each other. There's nothing good that we can find common ground. I think that the battle cry, the thing that should bring us all together is America first, that we are all Americans and we all stand on that. We agree on that. And how we sort through everything else, I think we can figure it out. We don't have to be hostile to each other. If we want to disagree and we don't like, we want to go against other countries, that's whatever. But at least us come together and agree on our common bond. That's where I think that it's just, but all it is just talking heads out there and people just talking things and no major transformation happening. And I wish Donald Trump would just really spearhead this of bringing us all together. Bringing us all together, everybody just pull down these battle lines that we've drawn. They're just so superficial and dumb. And it's just, and when any of these just structures that are created, like the government, and just the media, podcasting, these people that are out there that are just doing this, it's all about, there's no real beef, and it's all a show. It's everything is always so fake in a show. Nothing is really going on there. But we always create this facade like everything is terrible and we cannot get along. We have to hate each other. Rather, let's grow up. Let's grow up as a nation, And if I know the thing right now that people are struggling with is the whole Israel. Israel has infiltrated everything in our way of life, so they have to be removed. I don't think they have to be removed. I think that we should coalesce under this America first, agreement that we have between each other. But with Israel and where they're gonna be in this world, we cannot stop blessing them as a nation. We can correct them. We can try to tell them our viewpoint and say, reprimand them for things that they're doing that we don't agree with. But let's not just put out this propaganda that Israel is evil and terrible and what they're doing is wrong, because that is the flood that everybody is experiencing right now. Everybody is being just an onslaught of this, that Israel is so evil. They're the most evil thing in the world. They're doing a Holocaust themselves, which, I mean, if they are, let's actually get to the bottom of this. No, let's not just have stupid talking points. Let's actually not say, if someone brings Benjamin Netanyahu on their podcast or on their show, oh, they're so evil, you should not be talking to them at all. Yeah, right. That's so stupid and ignorant. If the best thing is daylight, is transparency, talking these things through. But I don't know. Where do you stand on this? Drop a comment. Let me know what you think. Follow me on X and Instagram at Brandon Fogal. And I hope you all watch the Jake Paul fight tonight. It should be interesting. My money's on Jake Paul.